All right, good afternoon, everybody. We'd like to welcome you to this week's Mississippi Farm Bureau press conference brought to you by our proud sponsor, Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance. The recap this weekend, it started off with women's and men's soccer Friday at Union, where the women's ended up with a 0-0 tie for the third consecutive game. And the men fell 2-1 to the Bulldogs. Saturday, your Statesman football team was at home against the Erskine Flying Fleet, where the Statesmen won 52-0, and to finish it out Sunday, the women's soccer team scored 7 goals in a 7-0 shutout against Christian Brothers, as the men fell 3-1 to the Buccaneers. But first, we'll bring up head coach Todd Cooley to recap Saturday's game against Erskine and preview this week's game as the Statesmen head to Barton in North Carolina. So we'll bring up head coach Todd Cooley.
All right, appreciate it. Thought we played well. Did not start the game offensively the way we wanted to, but we settled down and defense played solid throughout. Thought we got a lot of guys in this game, which was good. I thought our crowd was really good, considering that Ole Miss was at home, Mississippi State was at home, and Southern Miss was at home. I still thought we had a really good crowd, and I was proud of our fans staying to the end. That's always a big deal for our players, to get to see those fans at the end of the game and shake their hands and thank them for coming out. So I was pleased with that. I really thought we had a good environment there Saturday night, and I was proud of the way we played. We got some things to clean up, obviously. Our kickoff coverage unit was not up to our standard. That's the number one point of emphasis special teams wise that I'm kind of frustrated with. Had some guys doing some uncharacteristic things on that unit. So that's something we've got to get better at, obviously. And it's just, has not been an issue till Saturday. So got to get ready for that, because Barton does a really good job with their kickoff return unit. This is going to be a tough game for us, because I think it's like 14 hours away. We're going to have to leave on Thursday. 2 o'clock Eastern kick over there. Last time we went to North Carolina, it didn't end the way we wanted to. So, they're a football team that's trying to find their identity. They've played a lot of different guys. They do have a young quarterback that's playing really, really well. They do a lot of things offensively, a lot of personnel groups. They do a lot of things defensively. They're getting a 4 down front. They're getting 3 down front. They mix in a lot of coverages, and they're really good on special teams. Coach Chip Hester is a colleague, friend of mine. I respect him a lot, respect his staff, and I think they're doing things the right way at Barton, and this is going to be a tough one for us. They had an open week last week, so they've had 2 weeks to prepare for us. So we've got to be ready to play, and it's a quick turnaround with us leaving on Thursday, and we just got to go on the road. We have not played well on the road, and that's been documented, and we need to go play better on the road this week. So that's the name of the game this week, and we'll see where it goes. But that's where we're at. What questions we got, Andy?
Garrett Ames.
Garrett Ames.
His first
Mm-hmm.
start.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about his performance, and also I noticed you got in 2 other guys at the quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
How big was it to kind of see who, how Ames performed, and also get some reps for the other guys?
I thought it was big. I thought Garrett played well. I really did. I thought he settled down after his early start. I think he started out maybe over his first 3, and then I think he settled down. I think he threw some really good deep balls. I thought he was seeing it well. I think he started having some fun out there, and it was good. Cole did a great job with him on the sideline, talking him through things, and I like our quarterback room. Reed Miller is a guy that I've got confidence in, and then J.L. Davis, true freshman, got in. So I was proud of him. I'm proud of his progression since he's been here. He's come a long way since June, and he's getting better every day. And he's down there with the scout team every day. He's getting a lot of reps down there, and so it was good to see him in there as well. And Reed did what I figured Reed would do, just operated us like we're supposed to and moved the ball down the field and got us a touchdown drive. So I was proud of that room. I was proud of Garrett, proud of that room, and we'll see if we can keep progressing from there.
In the ground game, it looked like you also got a lot lot of contributors in there. I know
Mhm.
Nick Clark had 3 touchdowns, and
Mhm.
had some other guys get a lot of big yards.
Yeah, great game because all four running backs that dressed out scored a touchdown, and that was big. So I was proud of them. I was proud of Darion Townsend. You know, that's a young man from Winona that tore his Achilles when he first got here, and has bounced back, and he was able to get in his first action as a Statesman the other night and scored a touchdown. So I was proud for him, and I thought it was a good group. I thought our O-line, our tight ends did a great job blocking all night. I thought we blocked well on the perimeter. Thought we gave effort on the perimeter, and so we were able to bust some pretty good runs there. And it was a good night.
First shutout for the team in a while.
Mm-hmm.
How huge was that just for the overall confidence of that defense?
I think it was good. I mean, I think our defense has played solid all year. We talked about it. What I was pleased with, and I said this after the game, and was a point of emphasis, was we cut down our penalties. We didn't have any. I can remember, I don't think we had many penalties defensively. And we've talked about that. When we don't get penalties, people have to go earn it against our defense. And, we feel like we got a solid defense. We play hard. So really pleased with those guys taking that step. And now we'll see if we can continue to take the next steps, and keep getting better, because it's a big game for us this week. We got to go on the road and prove we can go do it away from here. We play well here. We got to go prove we can play well away from here, and a long way from here. So that's going to be a challenge.
Of course, looking at the receivers, a lot of different receivers got the ball when you're, starting a young quarterback and putting in some other young quarterbacks. How refreshing was it to kind of see, those guys still execute like Statesman football?
Yeah, that was the name of the game. That was fun to see those guys execute, and it's what we expect. We talk about all the time that no matter who's in the game, the standard is the standard here, and you're supposed to play a certain way, and I felt like they did that the other night. So that's good. But once again, this is a what have you done for me lately type of business, so we got to go do it again this week. That game's over. We got to learn from the mistakes, and we got to see the things we did good, and continue to build upon those things. So that's the challenge this week.
In the past, a couple of weeks ago, when this team was first going on the road, you talked about the challenges of their first challenges of handling things on the road for a lot of them. Now it's kind of the second go around, second long trip. What are you kind of
third long trip?
Third long.
Fort Valley was long too, but I don't know. I'm expecting them to be focused. I'm expecting us to. We got to play better on the road, man. We just got to go do it. It's a new week, and college football right now is week to week, as we should know. All you got to do is watch it across the country. Every week's a new week, and how are we gonna handle this week? We've talked about as a staff, what can we do different from a travel standpoint? You can't move the game any closer. It is what it is. We got to leave on Thursday. So we just got to be able to handle it, and handle it better than we did the previous 2 times we went on the road. So we're going to make tweaks here and there, possibly to the practice schedule, and try to change some things up. But, the thing that's we got to understand, and we will meet this afternoon and we'll understand this, but, you're sitting there with a football team. Chip Hester and his staff know how to win football games. They've done it everywhere Chip's been, he's won. So you got to sit there. They've probably been circling the wagons now for 2 weeks. They've had a tough schedule. This will be their second home game. They've had 3 on the road. They play some really tough opponents. They're a good football team. So, we're probably going to see some different things we haven't seen. How are we going to adjust to those things? How are we going to, play fast? That's the key. I thought we played fast Saturday night. I did not think we played fast our 2 previous road trips. So our goal is to play fast this week. Line up fast, play fast. Don't play with any hesitation. Don't put limits on what we can do. Let's go and try to play fast. And Martin makes it hard for you to do that because they give you so much stuff. So it's going to be a challenge.
Now, Cole, what is his status for this week?
He's day by day. I mean, I think he'll be able to hopefully work back into practice this week, and we'll see what happens. Don't know yet. It's Monday, and we'll figure it out as we go. But I know he was feeling a lot better at the end of last week, and he was a real asset to our team on game day, and he wants to be out there, and hopefully he'll get back in practice this week. We'll get him ready to roll.
When you see young quarterbacks perform, as far as the depth of that position, that's gotta give you a big sigh of relief moving forward to know that this team could possibly be a playoff team no matter who's under center.
Well, I hope we're a playoff team, buddy. We got a lot of wood to chop between now and then. Yeah, I mean the key to being good, I think, is to have depth and competition at each position. And you better have depth and competition at that position for sure, because that's such a pivotal position in our sport. So I feel like we have that, and I think that's a good thing. And so, yeah, I'm excited about where we are, but I hope you're right. I hope we are a playoff team. I think we're a long ways from that, and we got a lot of games to play between now and then. So.
And rushing attack too. Just how to talk about the depth of your running back room and how that helps a young quarterback, say like Garrett Haynes.
Yeah, it does. I mean, if you can run the football, run game travels. We need to run it well this weekend. No doubt about it. So, if you can run the football, you're always going to have a chance. I think. I was glad to see the run game get going, but it's a different defense we're playing this week and different things, and that's what people don't understand. It's like you're just not going to walk out there each week and run the ball for 300 yards. It just doesn't happen. But you'd like to. But, we'll try to. But I think Barton will probably have something to say about that.
And defensively, it seems like every week so far this year you've had a different guy stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk about that, the different guys standing out.
I just think we got a good defensive unit, and I think, it's like I said, what people don't see. People don't see the guys that are doing their jobs to free somebody else up to make the play. That's what people don't see. And that's what the beautiful thing about my job is I get to go see that on a Sunday, or I get to see that, or I know that because of the call and because of what we're trying to do defensively or offensively, who actually made that thing happen. Who was selfless enough to do his job so that he could free up this guy for a sack or whatever. And that's what I love about that defense. They really do not care who gets the credit. They just want to stop people, And I thought they did a good job of that the other night. They got off the field on third downs. We won a turnover battle. That was big. So I thought they played well. Anything else? We need to have a heck of a week of practice and go Statesman.
Thank you very much, Coach Cooley. And again, this weekend, Saturday, Statesman head to Barton to take on the Bulldogs of Barton College. Up next, we got the men's soccer program. Fell to Christian Brothers 3-1 yesterday and 2-1 to Union College. So without further ado, I'll bring up Austin Jackman to preview this week, but recap the last weekend and preview this week against Mississippi College.
Thanks everyone for being here. Not the weekend we wanted, not the result we wanted Friday, not the result we wanted Sunday. So back on the horse and got 90 minutes on Friday to get a result. So with that being said, I'll open it up to any questions.
Looking at the numbers inside the Union game, it looked like y'all had y'all's chances. I think y'all outshot them as far as shots on goal. Had some opportunities. Just talk about that a little bit. And also, even though against Christian Brothers, I saw where y'all had one shot on goal, but just kind of looking at that game, it seemed a lot closer than that. Just talk about just the play of the team in those two games.
Yeah, Friday, you kind of nailed it on the head. Had chances. I think Union pretty much created one in the first half, and they scored. And I think the group's frustrated with how hard we worked to get back into that game to go 1-1. And then you lose it at the death, and it's just a tough pill to swallow with how hard we worked to get back into it. Had a couple balls cleared off the line, yeah, frustrating. And then 3-1 was 3-1 yesterday. 2 mistakes cost us 2 goals. Gave them the first 2. Get back into it again to get it to 2-1, and then concede. I talked about the cardinal rule of football or soccer the last couple weeks, and you can add to that cardinal rule of, hey, don't concede after you score within 5 minutes. And unfortunately, we conceded, and I mean, we still had a chance to make it 3-2 with 4 minutes to go. We had a kid in on goal and don't get a shot off. And I think, I mean, if that goes in, you got 4 minutes, and I mean, we've seen anything can happen in those 4 minutes. So, like I said, the group's frustrated, but good week of training and a rivalry game on Friday, so you can throw records off the table. So.
Now, this weekend, just looking at the schedule, it's just going to be one game this weekend instead of 2. Right now, do you kind of prefer that, or what's your take on just having a one-game weekend instead of a 2?
Yeah, that's a great question, Andy. I think that's probably what's best for us right now. We've got one opponent to focus on for 4 days, and it's 90 minutes on Friday, and the best team in that 90 minutes wins. And it'll be good. Just have all our focus on MC. Like I said, it's a rivalry match. Anything can happen. We've seen that. Throw records out the window. I don't think they've lost a game since they came in here and beat us 4-0. So they definitely got to play momentum, and we'll see what happens on Friday.
So offensive opportunities, I mean, you guys had them, definitely. And it seems like identity-wise, too, it's switching different players around in that offensive forward position. It looked like Braden Taylor, to mention, Sunday gave you guys a little bit of spark energy off a nice pass from Santiago Rossi. And discuss that.
Yeah, it's kind of been just spinning the wheel and seeing who we can put in those positions to score goals for us. We've got 10 players for those front 4 attacking positions, and 5 of them are injured. So, I mean, that's 50%. That's a lot of injuries. We just kind of take it day by day and figure it out. And Braden created a spark for us, made a little adjustment the last probably 15 minutes. He was man-marked out of the game for the most part. Prior to that, all right, flip-flop with Micah Soper, go up top and create a goal. And then, like I said, he was in on goal with about 4 minutes left as well. So chances are there. I'd much rather goals start flying in the last half of the season than the beginning of it. So just got to keep plugging away, and it's a great opportunity on Friday to get a result. Thank you, guys. Go Statesman.
Again, Statesman Soccer will face off against Mississippi College. This time will be a conference match, unlike the earlier match we had this season. It'll be at Clinton on Friday at 3 o'clock. That'll be the kickoff time for Delta State and Mississippi College. This past weekend, Lady Statesmen continue to get shutouts after shutouts as a scoreless draw against the Lady Bulldogs of Union up in Jackson on Friday. Followed it up with 7 goals against the Lady Bucks from Christian Brothers yesterday afternoon at Delta Field. So recapping this last weekend and previewing this weekend against Mississippi College, I'll bring up head coach Chloe Jackson. Not Chloe Kane. Excuse me.
Hello. Yeah. good weekend for us. 4 clean sheets in a row, yet to concede in conference, and yeah, obviously taking a lot of confidence from scoring 7 goals yesterday as we kind of prepare for a big game this weekend versus Mississippi College. So.
Now, going back to yesterday's game, of course, y'all been plugging away, keeping teams off the board. How much of a relief was it to not only get that offense going, because the previous week in one of the games you mentioned 20 total shots, 5 shots on goal. I think this week, combining all of the shots in the 2 games, I think y'all had 44 shots and 25 shots on goal in 2 games. Just talk about not only the improvement on that, because it seemed like there was some better selection and better opportunities created.
Yeah, I think Friday was very frustrating. I felt that, against Spring Hill last week, well, in all of the games that we've played in conference so far, we've had opportunities to win all games. In maybe a different life, in a different world, we'd be 4-0 right now, but that's kind of the way soccer goes sometimes. And I think, last Sunday versus Spring Hill, you think, damn, we really should have won that game. And there was pressure going into Friday, and tough field to play on, tough team somewhat to play against. And I think, on Friday there was a lot of frustration. And I think Friday, there was a lot of pressure felt by some of the attacking players. And that was the same going into Sunday's game. Like, we knew that CBU were going to be tough to beat. They were going to be working really hard, and we just needed to have that composure and just calmness. And I think when you look at the first goal that Caroline scored, like, that was it. Okay, like, Millie, good moment, great decision to set it to Caroline, and then Caroline just comes in and slots it right in the bottom corner. So I think maybe that composure was what we were lacking. And I think once that first one, it was like a big weight lifted off the shoulders, kind of floodgates. And and that just kind of made it easier to go from there. And I think scoring goals is, and being able to do that, it comes from confidence. And I think once one person does that, it kind of gives others the confidence around it to shoot the ball, to take those chances, and be a little bit more opportunistic.
Not only 7 goals, but 7 different players with goals.
Yeah.
Just talk about the distribution on the team, because it seemed like with 7 different players getting goals, it seemed like everybody was ready.
Yeah, and that's just makes my job even harder, I guess, when you've got goals coming from all different people. And I think it just speaks to the depth that we have. We knew coming into this season that we had more depth. Obviously really pleased for the people that were able to score 4 of the goals coming from midfielders. They kind of seem to be our reliable ones right now. And obviously, I think for 3 of those girls, that was their first ever goal for Delta State. So obviously that's big milestones. And again, like, obviously as a team, we needed to get that first goal yesterday, but hopefully for them players, now they've got that first goal kind of chalked off, maybe for their career or for the season, that we can kind of kick on from there now too.
Now, looking at the statistic, 4th straight shutout for the defense, I think 5th overall this season. What's kind of, I guess, the big difference with this team this year as opposed to last year?
Yeah, I think the personnel isn't that different. I think there's a couple of additions. I think Mackenzie Winters has been a big addition to our back line, but we have a lot of experience back there already. So I guess Max came in and kind of helped us even that out. But the way Mac plays with those players that she's around, you'd think Mac's been here for the other 3 years of her career too. So I think that's kind of speaks to the quality that she brings. But yeah, for me, like, I think we've added quality in kind of different areas. Obviously, Janya, who scored yesterday, that's her 2nd goal now. She's a new player, but I think more than anything, the main difference for me is we've just had more time together. We've been able to establish our system and how we want to play, and girls have bought into that, and now we're kind of reaping the rewards from that. But we're a very experienced team right now, so that's what I would expect. I would expect us to be keeping clean sheets and to be winning games the way we are.
Now, of course, early in the year, we talked about asked about the significance of win and ties and losses.
Yeah.
How much easier are the ties to kind of handle when you're keeping the L column at 0?
Yeah, and I think, you know, like we're unbeaten in conference right now. There's 3 teams that are still unbeaten, and we're one of them. There's 2 teams that haven't conceded a goal, and we're one of them. So I think that brings us a lot of confidence. And yeah, I think when you look in soccer, there's some games where a draw is 1 point gained, and then there's other games where it's 2 points lost. Right now, we're just adding to our tally. We're on 6 points right now, and we kind of know that we need to be at least at 15 to be getting in the tournament. But for us, we want, how can we hit 20? Can we get higher? Can we be pushing to get in that top 4? So every little helps. There's plenty more games to come, but yeah, if it's my preference, it's W's and 3 points we're picking up rather than too many draws all the time.
Now, what does it say about the mental toughness of the girls on Sunday after 3 straight shutouts,
Mm-hmm.
3 straight ties, and they finally get that win? Was there talk about their mentality a little bit in those 3 games? Were they like, are we ever going to win? Or what? How was that?
Yeah, I think so. I think after about 80 minutes on Friday, I think a lot of us were starting to question that. You know, maybe the soccer gods are against us, but I think it's just about being perseverant. That's something that's very important to our team and one of our values. And I think it's just credit to the girls for living into that value and just finding a way, like how do we win? How do we get the results that we need? And like for me, that's playing into our strengths, and that's what we did on Sunday, which allowed us to have the success. And on the defensive side, has allowed us to have the sustained success with obviously 4 clean sheets now.
And after going off of yesterday's win, the 7-0 win, how much off the shoulders? How much does it carry momentum into a big match this week, especially being at Mississippi College?
Yeah, no, that's all the kind of momentum that we need. And obviously we're travel partners with MC, like we play the same teams every weekend, so it's hard not to compare yourself when, you know, we're seeing results. I see them win 5-0 and you think, damn, like can we do that? Like, we're not a team that's scoring right now. So obviously to go and do 2 more, that obviously was a good feeling. But then you look yesterday and they beat Union 3-0. So it's kind of like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And I think we're 2 kind of very evenly matched teams right now. I think we have, you know, somewhat similar results against similar teams. So I think it just sets it up to be a really good game come Saturday afternoon.
Talk about just the 1-game weekend, and do you prefer the 1-game weekend right now over the 2 games?
Yeah, I think any coach wants to play 1 game a week rather than 2. The Friday-Sunday schedule is, it can be a killer at times, and especially depending on how it kind of falls, it can be tough to balance at times. So for us, we're grateful we have 2 weeks now where we just play 1 game, and that's, you know, for us to just to be able to get out on the training field, and even just playing on Saturday is a huge difference. You know, we're in today recovering, they're off tomorrow, and then we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to prepare rather than Wednesday, Thursday, and then you're turning back around and getting right back into it. So to have 2 weeks like that where we can get 3 or 4 training sessions in, it's really big, and just kind of allows us to build momentum, continue to build confidence, and be ready and be prepared to face these next 2 teams who are probably 2 of the tougher opponents that we'll face all year.
And how will it be, just for after going into next week? You get 7 days preparation for one of all back-to-back Saturday matches.
Yep.
And mentioning that now that we realize in conference play we haven't lost a match at Delta Field in 2 years.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah, that's been a big thing, and that was something that last year, like, honestly, it kind of crept up on us. It's like, oh, there's 2 home games left, and we've actually not lost here in conference play yet. So that was something that crept up on us last year, but something that, like, we have to play into this year. Like, we have to make it a tough place for teams to come, a place where teams can't score goals. And I think when you look at the numbers of goals we've conceded on both sides of the field, pretty much, like home or away, we've had good numbers, but I think obviously sustaining that at home, like it definitely works in our favour, and yeah, hopefully makes it a place that teams feel nervous about coming to. All right, thank you. Go Lady Statesman.
Appreciate you, Chloe Kane. And again, Lady Statesman this weekend, they'll be at Mississippi College. It's on Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock kickoff in Clinton. So this week, again, Statesman hit the road. Football on the road at Barton on Saturday afternoon. That'll be a 1 o'clock local time kickoff. Soccer teams are both also on the road at Mississippi College. The men face the Choctaws on Friday at 3 p.m. The Lady Statesmen will take on the Choctaws on Saturday at 3 p.m. And also Tennessee's will start their fall as they'll head to Pensacola, Florida this week. We thank you, everybody, for tuning into this afternoon's press conference sponsored by Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance. And we wish you guys have a great week. And as always, go Statesman.